As Lily Mae swiped her own debit card to cover the meal of a weary customer at McDonald's, she could never have foreseen the devastating consequences that would follow, her job hanging in the balance. And she absolutely never anticipated that the customer was none other than billionaire Elon Musk. In the wake of security footage capturing her selfless act going viral, Lily faced the harsh reality of unemployment, grappling with the daunting challenge of providing for her two children. Unbeknownst to her, a flicker of recognition sparked in Elon Musk's mind, a name echoing from the shadows of his past. What unfolds next will irrevocably alter Marissa's life in ways she could never have foreseen. Lily Mae stifled a yawn, her weary hands moving methodically as she wiped down the counter at McDonald's, the weight of the day pressing heavily upon her. The clock on the wall ominously ticked away, its hands frozen at 11:30 p.m., a mere 30 minutes stretching out like an eternity until her shift would finally come to a close. Every step sent a jolt of pain through her feet, while her back throbbed with relentless agony. After 8 grueling hours of standing, forced smiles, and the relentless repetition of "Would you like fries with that?" she felt utterly drained. Clinging to hope, she murmured to herself, her heart racing with uncertainty. The kids are counting on you to be strong. The McDonald's where Lily toiled loomed just off the highway in Fremont, California, a place where the mundane met the extraordinary. It stood as one of the rare establishments in the area, defiantly open around the clock. Most nights fell into a hushed stillness after 10 p.m., but tonight was anything but ordinary, alive with the restless energy of hungry travelers and late-night workers, each moment thick with urgency. As Lily hurriedly grabbed her meals, her eyes darted to the photo taped inside her locker door, a haunting reminder of what once was. Her two children smiled back at her, their innocent faces glowing with an unsettling brightness that pierced through the heavy silence of the room. Mia, just 9, her smile marred by a missing front tooth, stands beside Ben, a 7-year-old boy whose oversized glasses magnify his wide, curious eyes. They were with Mrs. Rodriguez from next door tonight, and by now they were likely lost in the depths of slumber, unaware of the world around them. "Order up," Jake shouted from the grill area, his voice cutting through the tension in the air. Lila snatched the bag and thrust it onto the counter, her heart racing with anticipation. "Have a good night," she whispered to the weary truck driver, who accepted her words with a heavy heart. She couldn't shake the thought of the bills looming at home, a relentless reminder of her responsibilities. With only 5 days left until the rent was due, Ben found himself in desperate need of new shoes for school. His old ones were riddled with gaping holes in both soles, a testament to their weary journey. The extra night shift, those grueling hours, provided some relief, yet it was never truly sufficient. "Hey, we encountered a car at the drive-thru, a tense moment with Alicia, the other night worker. Are you truly prepared for what lies ahead? I urgently need to find a bathroom." "Of course," Lily replied, her footsteps echoing as she moved toward the window. With a swift motion, she secured the headset over her ears. "Welcome to McDonald's, where every moment hangs in the balance and choices await with bated breath." "What can I do for you this evening?" A weary male voice pierced the silence. "May I please have a large black coffee and 2 double cheeseburgers, and don't forget a large fries. Will that finalize your order, sir?" "Indeed, that is everything." "Thank you, that will be $12.87. Proceed to the initial window without delay." Marissa's heart raced as a sleek, expensive-looking car glided to a stop before her. It was not the typical late-night customer vehicle that rolled in. Most people who arrived at this hour maneuvered trucks or aging sedans, not this extravagant vehicle that defied expectation. As the window swung open, Marissa's heart raced, and she almost let the card reader slip from her grasp. The figure in the driver's seat was none other than Elon Musk. She felt a jolt of recognition as she spotted him, the familiar face flickering through her mind like a scene from a gripping drama, one she had seen countless times on TV and the internet. What could possibly drive him to a McDonald's drive-thru at nearly midnight? He appeared utterly exhausted. His eyes were shadowed, deep circles etched beneath them, and his hair lay in disarray, a chaotic testament to his turmoil. He donned a wrinkled t-shirt emblazoned with a science joke that left Lily utterly perplexed. "Good evening," she said, her voice trembling as she fought to maintain composure. "The total comes to $12.87. Elon Musk's hand darted to his back pocket, a frown etching itself onto his face. He frantically rummaged through his other pocket, his heart racing as he searched the cup holders and glove compartment with growing desperation. "I'm so sorry," he uttered, his voice heavy with regret. "I'm almost certain I left my wallet at the office." After nearly 20 hours of relentless work, he let out a heavy sigh, his mind spiraling into chaos. "I suppose I must return for it." "I regret taking up your valuable time." Lily caught the weariness etched deep within his gaze. She recalled every moment of utter exhaustion that followed her grueling double shifts. She recalled a moment, a fleeting encounter, when a benevolent stranger stepped forward, covering her groceries just as her card was met with rejection. "Wait!" she exclaimed, her voice urgent and sharp. "It's fine, I can handle this." With a trembling hand, she extracted her debit card, the one that held a mere $43.28 until the long-awaited payday, and forcefully swiped it through the machine. "You don't have to do that," he said, his eyes widening in disbelief. "It's no problem," Lily replied, her smile barely concealing the tension in the air. In the chaos of life, we often find ourselves losing grip on memories, slipping through our fingers like sand. The weight of forgotten moments can haunt us, lingering in the shadows of our minds. With a swift motion, she thrust the receipt into his hand, then pivoted sharply to take his order. As she filled the bag, a sudden surge of adrenaline coursed through her veins, prompting her to make a split-second decision. With a swift motion, she slipped in an apple pie, the weight of her choice hanging in the air. It may have seemed insignificant, but in the darkest moments, a small, sweet treat had the power to illuminate even the bleakest of days. "Day, here you go," she said, her voice trembling as she thrust the bag through the window, a palpable tension hanging in the air. "I have added an apple pie." Your weary eyes betray the exhaustion of endless hours. A taste of sweetness might just be the solace you seek. Elon's gaze flickered from her name tag to her face, a charged moment hanging in the air. For a fleeting instant, a spark ignited in his expression, a glimmer of recognition that sent a shiver down the spine, though surely that couldn't be true. "Thank you, Marissa," he said, his voice heavy with unspoken emotions. "Your kindness is truly remarkable." "Absolutely, Mr. Musk. You need to rest, all right?" His eyebrows shot up, a surge of disbelief washing over him. "You actually recognized me?" Her laughter echoed through the silence, a sudden burst that shattered the tension in the air. "Absolutely. My son Ben has a poster of you hanging in his room, a constant reminder of your presence. He harbors a burning desire to construct rockets one day." Elon smiled, a genuine smile that ignited a spark in his eyes, hinting at something deeper beneath the surface. "Make sure to convey to Ben that I urge him to continue dreaming on a grand scale. And once more, my deepest gratitude." With that, he sped off, the crimson glow of his brake lights vanishing into the darkness, leaving an unsettling silence in their wake. Lily pushed the thought aside, her mind racing with the implications of what lay ahead. As the clock struck midnight, she completed her shift, clocked out, and hurriedly boarded the late bus, the weight of the night heavy on her shoulders. Mrs. Rodriguez lay motionless on the couch, oblivious to the world, as Lily quietly turned the key in the lock of her small apartment, the tension thick in the air. "Thank you for watching them," Lily whispered, her voice barely breaking the silence as she gently roused her neighbor from slumber. "Absolutely no problem, darling. They were angels, forever and always, their presence a haunting reminder of something greater." Once Mrs. Rodriguez departed, Lily cautiously glanced at her children, who lay in a deep, vulnerable slumber. Ben had flung aside his blanket just as he always did. With a trembling hand, she gently pulled the covers over him once more, her lips brushing against his forehead in a tender farewell. Mia clutched her stuffed rabbit tightly, her expression a fragile mask of tranquility amidst the storm brewing within her. "I'm doing everything I can for you," Lily whispered, her voice trembling with urgency. In the kitchen, she meticulously counted out the money for tomorrow, each bill a weighty reminder of the stakes at hand. Bus fare, lunch money for the kids, and now a staggering $12.87 vanished from her account. It would be a struggle, but they would pull through. They always did, without fail. She simply did not. Haunted by the choice to assist Elon Musk, regardless of wealth or status, every soul craved compassion. Her mama had instilled that lesson deep within her, a truth she was determined to pass on to her own children, no matter the cost. As Lily prepared for bed, an unsettling calm enveloped her, oblivious to the storm that her seemingly insignificant act of kindness was about to unleash, forever altering the course of her life. Unbeknownst to her, the security cameras had recorded every moment of the encounter. Little did she know that by tomorrow evening the video would be racing through the internet, igniting a firestorm of reactions. She felt a surge of certainty coursing through her veins, a conviction that she had made the right choice, and in that moment, it was all that mattered. Lily set her alarm for 6 a.m., just 5 hours away, and succumbed to a restless, exhausted sleep. Tomorrow looms ahead, a relentless cycle of work, frantic school pickups, and the desperate struggle to stretch every dollar to its breaking point. Another day unfolds in her life as a single mom, each moment a battle fought with unwavering determination to carve out a brighter future for her children. Unbeknownst to her, the fabric of her reality was about to unravel, and normalcy would slip through her fingers forever. Marissa's phone buzzed relentlessly during her lunch break the next day, each vibration sending a jolt through her as she braced for the unknown. Initially, she brushed it off, dismissing it as mere spam texts. But when her sister Lucia's calls came in 3 times in rapid succession, a sense of urgency gripped her, compelling her to finally pick up the phone. "Marissa, have you laid your eyes on it? You're everywhere on the internet, lurking in every corner, a presence that cannot be ignored." Lucia's voice pierced the air, filled with an electrifying excitement that demanded attention. "What are you saying?" Lily slowly unwrapped her peanut butter sandwich, the most economical choice she could muster for lunch, a stark reminder of her current struggles. A video from McDonald's surfaced last night, igniting a whirlwind of reactions. It reveals you offering free food to Elon Musk, a moment charged with unexpected tension. It's spreading like wildfire. Lily gasped, the sandwich almost lodged in her throat. What? How could this possibly happen? No one else was present. Security cameras of all things. It seems that someone has dared to share the footage. The video captures the entire scene, his moment of panic as he realizes he's forgotten his wallet, you stepping in to cover the cost, and the unexpected gesture of handing him an apple pie. Whispers echo through the crowd, reverberating with the name, the McDonald's Angel. Marissa's stomach plummeted, a heavy weight of dread settling in her core. Oh no, is my name tag visible, my face? Obvious and undeniable, you have achieved fame now. Famous was the last thing Lily ever desired to become. She toiled through 2 jobs and immersed herself in online classes under the cover of night. When the children finally succumbed to sleep, she was racing against the clock, fame slipping through her fingers like sand. "I have to leave," Lily declared, her voice trembling with urgency. "The end of my break looms near." With a swift motion, she ended the call, her heart racing as she frantically searched for the video. In mere seconds, it was discovered. A post emerged, bearing the striking title, "McDonald's worker gives billionaire free food. Humanity stands on the precipice of greatness." The video had surged to an astonishing 3 million views. Marissa's heart raced as she stared in disbelief at the grainy security footage, revealing the shocking truth before her eyes. With a swift motion, she swiped her own card, the apple pie nestled in her grasp, as Elon sped away into the distance. The comments section erupted with a torrent of reactions, each one more intense than the last. She possesses an undeniable sweetness that captivates all who encounter her. One can only wonder if Elon will grant her the gift of a Tesla. She's bearing the weight of that expense all on her own. This is the America I fight for. Marissa's phone vibrated ominously, a message from her manager, Mr. Daniels, demanding her immediate attention. "Meet me in my office as soon as you arrive tonight." Her heart plummeted. The McDonald's employee handbook laid down an unyielding decree. Giving away free food was utterly forbidden. Even though she had paid for it herself, the stark reality loomed. Offering an apple pie without charging was a direct violation of the rules. The remainder of her shift at the warehouse where she toiled during the day unfolded in a haze of anxiety. What if she were to lose her night job? The McDonald's position offered a more lucrative salary and the promise of flexible hours, a tantalizing opportunity that loomed large on the horizon. When she finally stepped into McDonald's that evening, the atmosphere had thickened with tension. A small crowd of people hovered in the parking lot, their presence thick with anticipation. Some clutched their phones tightly, their hearts racing with anticipation, desperate to catch a glimpse of the legendary McDonald's angel. "There she is!" A voice pierced through the air as Lily rushed inside, her heart racing. Mr. Daniels stood by the time clock, arms crossed, his face flushed with a storm of emotions. He was a diminutive figure, his thinning hair a testament to the weight of his convictions as he clutched the McDonald's rulebook with an intensity that bordered on obsession. "May, get to my office immediately." Lily trailed behind him, her heart racing as she peered through the break room window. She felt the weight of her co-workers' gazes, their faces a tumultuous blend of sympathy and curiosity, as if they were spectators at a gripping spectacle. Mr. Daniels slammed the door shut, his finger jabbing toward the chair with an intensity that filled the room. "Take your seat." He yanked the viral video onto his computer screen, anticipation crackling in the air. "Elucidate this matter." Lily highlighted sharply, her heart racing. "Mr. Daniels," he completely forgot his wallet. "I personally covered the cost of his meal, I swear. I didn't take anything." "And the apple pie," his eyebrows shot up in disbelief. "Did you really pay for that as well?" Her gaze fell to the ground. "Absolutely not, sir. I always believed that thinking wasn't part of your job description, May. Compliance is your compensation." His hand crashed down onto the desk with a thunderous impact. "Are you aware of the chaos this has unleashed? Corporate has been relentless, their calls echoing throughout the day." "I deeply regret what has happened," Lily whispered, her voice barely breaking the silence. "It will never happen again." "Indeed, you are absolutely correct." Mr. Daniels yanked open the drawer, his heart racing as he extracted the papers, each one a potential revelation waiting to unfold. "You're dismissed. Effective without delay." The words struck Lily with the force of a devastating blow. Dismissed? Yet I have toiled in this place for 3 long years. I have never, not once, arrived after the appointed time. Never once did I call in sick. You should have considered the consequences before you chose to hand out favors to billionaires. He thrust the termination papers at her, the weight of the moment hanging heavily in the air. "Sign these now." Tears clouded her sight as she made her mark. "Mr. Daniels, I implore you. I stand alone as a single mother. I absolutely need this job. The kids, they are not my concern," he cut in, shattering the silence. "The corporate policy stands unwavering, a stark declaration that leaves no room for ambiguity. There is no free food. It is done. Empty your locker and abandon your uniform." Lily staggered into the employee locker room, her heart racing and breath quickening with each step. Alicia stepped into the room, her heart racing as she trailed behind her. "This is utterly unjust," Alicia whispered, her voice trembling with emotion. "You actually paid for his meal?" "It doesn't matter," Lily said, her hands trembling as she emptied her locker. Photos of Mia and Ben stared back at her from the door, their smiles hauntingly frozen in time. Rules are unyielding, unbreakable. What will you do next? Lily remained silent. She was utterly unaware. Outside, the small crowd had swelled, anticipation crackling in the air. As she stepped out of the building, a voice pierced the air, calling her name with an urgency that sent a shiver down her spine. "It's her!" A teenager yelled, his finger jabbing at her as he aimed his phone with intensity. The angel of McDonald's. "Please leave me alone," Lila said, yanking her hoodie over her head, a storm brewing in her eyes. Tears cascaded down her cheeks as she rushed to the bus stop, her heart pounding with urgency. The bus was late, stretching the seconds into an agonizing eternity, forcing her mind to spiral into a whirlwind of thoughts. How could she possibly pay rent now? What has become of Ben's shoes? What about Mia's asthma medicine? At home, Mrs. Rodriguez anxiously awaited the return of the kids, her heart pounding with anticipation. "Mama!" Ben sprinted toward her, urgency propelling him forward. "We caught a glimpse of you on YouTube. You actually encountered Elon Musk?" Mia clutched her waist tightly. "Are you all right, Mama? Your expression reveals a deep sorrow." Lily strained to conjure a smile. "I'm fine, mijos." Exhausted to the core, she spun around to face Mrs. Rodriguez. "Thank you for keeping a watchful eye on them." Once Mrs. Rodriguez departed, Lily gathered the children, her heart racing with anticipation. "I have something urgent to share with you. Mama is leaving her job at McDonald's for good." "Why not indeed?" inquired Mia, her voice laced with urgency. "Sometimes grown-ups are forced to make changes," Lila said, her voice trembling with the weight of unspoken fears, not wanting to burden them with her worries. "I will secure another job soon, no matter the obstacles in my path." "Are we going to be all right?" Ben demanded, his gaze piercing through the lenses of his glasses. "Of course we will," Lily assured him, her voice steady yet doubt gnawed at her insides. "We always find a way to make sense of it all, don't we?" As darkness enveloped the house and the children lay in their slumber, Lily found herself alone at the kitchen table, gripping a notepad tightly in her hands. She meticulously assessed the precarious limits of their survival, relying solely on the meager income from her warehouse job. 2 weeks? Perhaps 3 if they subsisted solely on beans and rice. Her phone buzzed incessantly, each notification a jarring reminder of the chaos unfolding around her. The video surged to an astonishing 20 million views. News websites were ablaze with stories about it. Desperation gripped the air as people scoured social media, searching for any trace of her. Lily switched off her phone, tears streaming down her face as she sat alone at the kitchen table, the weight of her emotions crashing over her like a tidal wave. One small act of kindness had shattered her world, leaving her with nothing. Unbeknownst to her, in a sleek office building across town, Elon Musk was fixated on the very same viral video, his gaze intense and unwavering. His brow furrowed deeply as he rewound the footage, desperate to see her name tag with piercing clarity. "Lily May," he whispered, fingers trembling as he typed the name into his computer. There was an unsettling sense of familiarity about her, a haunting echo that lingered far beyond their fleeting encounter the previous night. A shiver ran down his spine as an unsettling feeling gripped him. He was convinced their paths had intertwined in the shadows of the past. As Lily finally succumbed to an exhausted slumber on her couch, she remained blissfully unaware that her life was on the brink of a transformation beyond her wildest dreams. The worst day of her life marked the ominous start of an extraordinary journey ahead. 2 weeks dragged on, each moment stretching into eternity. Lily's desperately submitted applications to every fast food restaurant, grocery store, and gas station within a bus ride of her apartment, her heart racing with each click of the send button. No one returned the call. It felt as though the entire world had witnessed the viral video, and every manager hesitated, unwilling to take a chance on the McDonald's angel who could shatter the very rules in the name of kindness. "We'll call you," they all said, their smiles strained and hollow, a promise that hung in the air like a dark cloud, heavy with unspoken truths. Marissa's eyes locked onto the towering pile of bills on her kitchen counter, each one a reminder of the mounting pressure closing in around her. The pink envelope on top loomed ominously, a final notice for the electric bill, a harbinger of impending darkness. If she failed to pay by Friday, the power would be cut off, leaving her in darkness. Darkness envelops the room, the refrigerator stands silent, and the fans remain still, leaving the sweltering heat of the California nights to suffocate any hope of relief. The apartment loomed ahead, its shadows stretching ominously in the fading light. The buzzer blared, slicing through the silence like a knife. Lily swung the door open, her heart racing, as she was met by the sight of Mrs. Chen, their frail elderly neighbor from across the hall, standing there with an air of urgency. "A package has arrived for you," Mrs. Renaud declared, her voice laced with urgency as she extended a small box towards you. "Is everything all right? You look exhausted." Lily managed a strained smile. "I'm in the midst of a relentless job hunt. Thank you for presenting this matter. Are the kids in need of supervision tomorrow?" "I'm free," Mrs. Renaud has offered. Since Lily lost her job at McDonald's, she had been thrust into the role of caregiver, a burden that weighed heavily on her shoulders. That would be absolutely incredible. "I find myself facing 2 interviews." As soon as Mrs. Renaud departed, Marissa's heart raced as she tore open the package. Inside lay Ben's asthma medicine, a lifeline in a world filled with uncertainty. Thank goodness for state insurance that miraculously covered his prescriptions, a lifeline in a moment of desperation. The refrigerator stood almost barren as she opened the door, a chilling reminder of what was once there. Half a gallon of milk, a few wilting carrots, and 3 eggs, all precariously balanced on the edge of expiration. The cupboard loomed ominously, its condition hardly an improvement. 1 solitary box of pasta, a single can of beans, and a jar of peanut butter teetering on the brink of emptiness. "Mama, I'm hungry." Mia's voice pierced through the silence of the living room where she sat, buried under a mountain of homework. "Dinner in 20 minutes, sweetheart," Lily declared, her hands trembling slightly as she pulled out the pasta with butter once more. The kids remained silent, but she couldn't ignore the way Ben relentlessly shoved the plain noodles around his plate each night, a silent rebellion brewing beneath the surface. As the pasta bubbled ominously in the pot, Marissa's heart raced as she anxiously checked her bank account on her phone. The balance sent a jolt through her stomach, tightening with an unsettling grip. $127.40, a mere fraction of what was needed for rent, and the deadline loomed just 10 days away. The warehouse had slashed her hours, claiming that business was in a dire slump. She felt a gnawing suspicion that they were simply afraid of the spotlight that her viral fame would cast upon them. Eyes darted in her direction. Hushed voices filled the air as people pointed, their recognition a sharp reminder of her past. After dinner, as the children splashed in their baths, Lily cautiously opened her laptop, the weight of anticipation heavy in the air. It was ancient and sluggish, yet it somehow managed to fulfill its purpose for job applications. Her email inbox overflowed with messages from unknown senders, each one a mystery, each one a potential threat lurking in the shadows of her digital life. Your presence ignites a fire within, a beacon of hope in the shadows. Is it possible for me to send you money? My church seeks to pay tribute to you. She erased every last one. She ached for neither charity nor the spotlight of fame. All she craved was the return of her once ordinary life. The TV in the corner had endured the passage of time, a silent witness to the family's unfolding drama over the years. Ben and Mia eagerly anticipated the thrill of Saturday mornings, where the vibrant world of cartoons beckoned them with its colorful chaos and endless adventures. Marissa's fingers brushed against its surface, a surge of desperation coursing through her as she contemplated the pawn shop down the street, Would they really offer her $100 for it, just enough to stave off the darkness creeping into her life? The following morning, Mrs. Reynolds arrived at dawn, her heart racing as she prepared to watch the kids. "Good luck on the interviews," she said, her voice barely above a whisper as she patted Marissa's arm, a flicker of concern in her eyes. "A clever girl like you will surely be discovered. Impressive work is just around the corner." "Thank you," Lily said, her voice trembling with gratitude as the weight of the moment pressed down on her. She kept the truth from Mrs. Reynolds, concealing the fact that both interviews were for positions that offered wages even lower than those at McDonald's. The first interview at a local diner unfolded with tension, leaving a sense of unease in the air. The manager's gaze locked onto her with an intensity that sent a shiver down her spine. "You're the McDonald's girl," he declared, his voice heavy with implication. "Regrettably, there are no available positions at this moment." Lily felt the weight of the deception pressing down on her, a truth hidden beneath layers of falsehood. Their help wanted sign loomed in the window, a silent plea that had lingered for weeks, a testament to desperation and uncertainty. The second interview at the gas station convenience store unfolded with a flicker of hope, but the atmosphere shifted dramatically when the manager posed the question about her departure from her last job. "I was let go," Lily confessed, her voice trembling with the weight of the revelation. A video emerged, the one featuring Elon Musk. The manager's brow furrowed deeply. "Indeed, I witnessed that unfold. Listen closely. I cannot bring on someone who freely dispenses gifts. Disastrous for business." As Lily finally stepped through the door, a heavy weight of defeat settled over her. She let her purse fall onto the kitchen counter, her gaze fixed on the bills once more, a storm of emotions brewing within her. "Ms. Marissa, Mrs. Reynolds is calling from the living room." Witness your children on the screen, their lives unfolding before your eyes. Lily burst into the living room, her heart racing and breath quickening. Without a doubt, the local news channel broadcasted a gripping clip of Mia and Ben as they exited the school, tension thick in the air. A reporter loomed nearby, urgently speaking into a microphone, the weight of the moment hanging in the air. "The children of McDonald's Angel Lily May walked into school today, their hearts heavy with uncertainty as their mother battles through the relentless storm of job searching. Reports indicate that May has been struggling to secure employment ever since the shocking termination 2 weeks prior." "Turn it off," Lila said, her voice trembling with urgency. With a trembling hand, Mrs. Reynolds clicked the remote. "I had no idea it would cause you such distress." "It's fine. I appreciate you keeping an eye on them today." As Mrs. Reynolds departed, Ben anxiously tugged on Marissa's sleeve, a sense of urgency hanging in the air. "Mama, why was I on television? How could she possibly convey this to a 7-year-old? At times, the gaze of the world falls upon ordinary individuals like us, igniting a spark of intrigue that can change everything. There's no need for concern." As darkness enveloped the apartment and the soft breaths of sleeping children filled the air, Lily felt a surge of urgency. She swiftly unplugged the TV, her heart racing, and loaded it into the shopping cart she had stealthily borrowed from the complex, each movement charged with a sense of impending change. The journey to the pawn shop stretched on for a tense 20 minutes, each step heavy with anticipation. $50, the pawn shop owner declared, his eyes narrowing with a calculating glint. "It's worth at least 100. "Lillian's," Lily insisted, her voice rising with urgency. 60, this is it, the last chance." She grasped the money, her eyes shimmering with unshed tears. $60 might not be enough to settle the electric bill, yet it could provide a glimmer of hope. As Lily trudged home, the weight of the empty cart pulling her down, she caught sight of a restaurant where diners indulged in lavish feasts, their laughter and clinking cutlery echoing through the glass, a stark contrast to her solitary journey. Her stomach roared with hunger. She had been sacrificing her own meals, determined to ensure the kids received enough to eat. Back at the apartment, Lily anxiously checked her email one final time before surrendering to the night. Amidst the mundane clutter, a message emerged, its subject line seizing her attention with an undeniable urgency. In light of your unexpected generosity at McDonald's. E. Her finger trembling above the delete button, poised for a decision that could change everything. Perhaps merely another unknown figure lurking in the shadows. Yet, an undeniable force compelled her to pry it open. The message was brief, yet it carried an undeniable weight. Miss May, I urgently request a meeting with you to address a matter that holds significant importance for both of us. Tomorrow at 2 p.m., the coffee awaits, a moment poised on the edge of anticipation. Is it true that the Green Bean Cafe is located on Main Street? E. Could it truly be from the person she believed it was, or could it be a sinister stranger lurking in the shadows, waiting to draw her into a trap? She was utterly uncertain. Lily slammed her laptop shut, silence hanging heavy in the air, her lack of response echoing like a thunderclap. She was engulfed in exhaustion, her mind clouded and unable to grasp the clarity she so desperately needed. Tomorrow, she would confront the moment of truth and decide what to do. As she succumbed to the embrace of sleep on the couch once more, having surrendered her bed to the kids weeks prior, Lily found herself lost in dreams of brighter days ahead. Days when a single mom could extend her hand in kindness, teetering on the edge of losing it all. Days when she could live without the burden of counting every penny and the agony of skipping meals. Unbeknownst to her, the enigmatic email was on the verge of propelling her into a future filled with hope and promise. And so much more hangs in the balance. Lily jolted awake, her neck aching painfully from the unforgiving embrace of the lumpy couch. Sunlight burst through the thin curtains, casting sharp shadows that danced ominously across the room. The kids would rise any moment now, their hunger for breakfast palpable in the air. Her eyes darted to the clock, a sense of urgency gripping her as the seconds ticked away. 6:30 a.m. The enigmatic email from the previous night haunted her thoughts, an unsettling presence that refused to fade away. Who was E? The question lingers, heavy with uncertainty and intrigue. Is it truly possible that it is Elon Musk? It felt utterly unattainable. What could possibly drive a billionaire to seek her out? But who could possibly wield that initial regarding the McDonald's incident? With trembling hands, she opened her laptop, her heart racing as she read the email once more, the weight of its words pressing down on her. Green Bean Cafe in Tucson. As the sun sets, the atmosphere thickens with anticipation. Today, the weight of anticipation hangs heavy in the air. The cafe loomed just a mere 10-minute bus ride away, a tantalizing promise of warmth and comfort amidst the chaos. Mrs. Reynolds could potentially watch the kids once more, yet Lily loathed the thought of imposing further favors upon her. "Mama?" Mia lingered in the doorway, her hands pressed against her eyes, as if trying to erase the weight of the world from her vision. "Is it possible for us to have cereal?" "Absolutely, my dear." Lily slammed her laptop shut. She would dwell on the email later, the weight of it looming over her like a storm cloud ready to unleash its fury. With the clock ticking ominously, Lily hurriedly prepared the kids for school, her heart racing as they made their way to the bus stop, each step heavy with anticipation. Heat surged ominously, heralding yet another blistering day in California. "Be good today," she urged, pressing her lips to their foreheads, a weighty promise hanging in the air. "Mrs. Rodriguez will arrive to collect you after school." "When will you finally return home?" Ben inquired, his fingers trembling as he adjusted his oversized glasses. "Before dinner, mijo?" The clock ticks ominously, each second stretching into eternity. "I have a meeting looming ahead." As the school bus vanished from sight, Lily steeled herself and made her way to the public library, her heart racing with anticipation. They possessed air conditioning, offered free computers, and no one dared to question your presence if you lingered there for hours on end, ideal for the relentless pursuit of employment. The librarian, Ms. Patel, forced a smile as Lily stepped inside, the air thick with unspoken tension. "Once more I return. Computer 3 stands open, an invitation to the unknown." "Thank you." Lily found herself drawn to this place, returning almost daily. as if compelled by an unseen force. Ms. Patel remained silent about the viral video, yet Lily couldn't shake the feeling that she was fully aware of it. For 3 relentless hours, Lily battled through the maze of online applications. Retail stores, restaurants, cleaning services, anything that could possibly keep the lights on. With every application that inquired about her past employment, Marissa's fingers trembled above the keyboard. Caught in a moment of uncertainty, should she dare to mention McDonald's? Would they dare to check? At noon, Marissa's phone erupted with a buzz, a text from the warehouse piercing through the silence. This week there are no shifts available. Yet another devastating strike. That signified the absence of any paycheck whatsoever. Her stomach roared with hunger. She had sacrificed breakfast to create. The cereal endures, stretching its lifespan for the kids. Within her purse lay an apple, alongside a half-eaten peanut butter sandwich, a silent testament to her hurried day. Her lunch for the day loomed before her, a silent promise of sustenance and the weight of expectation hanging in the air. As she sat at one of the library tables, Marissa's heart raced as she reopened the mysterious email. What was there for her to lose by taking that step into the unknown? The most dire outcome loomed ahead, the possibility of squandering bus fare and an entire hour of her precious time. Is this truly the best? She had long since abandoned any semblance of hope. Ms. Patel, Lily stepped forward, her heart racing as she approached the librarian's desk. Are you aware of the Green Bean Cafe located on Main Street? Absolutely, without a doubt. Exceptional coffee, complimentary Wi-Fi. Why must this happen? Is it truly safe? Is this truly a place like any other? Ms. Patel's eyebrows shot up, a silent storm brewing in her gaze. Utterly secure. A multitude of students and business professionals gather, each carrying their own ambitions and dreams, their paths intertwining in a charged atmosphere of potential and uncertainty. Is everything all right? Indeed, my gratitude knows no bounds. I found myself at a crossroads, uncertain of the location as I awaited the arrival of someone significant. At precisely 1:30 p.m., Lily stood at a crossroads, her heart racing as she finally made her fateful decision. She sent a message to Mrs. Chen, who eagerly accepted the invitation to meet the kids after school. Then she caught the bus to Main Street, her heart racing with a tumultuous blend of hope and anxiety. Green Bean Cafe surpassed Marissa's wildest expectations, leaving her breathless in its unexpected charm. Plants dangled ominously in macrame holders from the ceiling, their presence both enchanting and foreboding. College students furiously typed on their laptops, while business people engaged in intense discussions in the corner booths. Classical music whispered through the air, its haunting melodies weaving a tapestry of emotion. Lily hastily ordered the cheapest item on the menu, a small black coffee, her heart racing as she scanned the room for a table, finally settling on one near the door, the weight of her decision heavy in the air. If the atmosphere turned unsettling, she could make her exit in an instant. At precisely 2:30 p.m., a sleek black car came to a sudden halt outside, its presence commanding attention. Marissa's heart raced as she peered through the window, her breath hitching at the sight of a woman in a sharp blazer emerging into the world outside. She exuded an air of significance, the type of individual destined for towering office buildings with sleek glass elevators, not the cozy confines of small coffee shops. The woman stepped inside, her gaze sweeping the room with intensity before striding purposefully toward Marissa's table. "Ms. May." Her voice carried a warmth that masked an underlying professionalism, creating an unsettling tension in the air. Lily nodded, a wave of anxiety crashing over her. "I am Tanya Williams, the executive assistant to Elon Musk." She extended her hand, a silent invitation hanging in the air, charged with unspoken tension. "Your presence here is deeply appreciated." Marissa's hand trembled as she shook it. Her voice caught in her throat. Could it be true? Was the email genuinely sent by Elon Musk, or at the very least a person who toiled under his command? "Can I join you?" Tanya's hand shot out, pointing sharply at the vacant chair, her eyes wide with urgency. Absolutely. Tanya sank into her chair, her heart racing as she set the sleek tablet down on the table with a deliberate motion. You're probably questioning the reason behind our outreach. Lily nodded once more, her expression heavy with unspoken thoughts. Mr. Musk witnessed the video of your encounter at McDonald's. He was deeply affected by your generosity, particularly upon discovering that you used your own funds and faced the consequences of being let go. Marissa's cheeks burned with a sudden rush of heat. It was far from insignificant. Everyone would have been compelled to act in the same way. Tanya's smile flickered, a brief moment of light in the shadows that surrounded her. We both understand the truth of the matter, Ms. May. Your kindness is a rare gem, shining brightly in a world often shrouded in shadows. She struck the surface of her tablet screen with urgency. Mr. Musk demands a personal meeting with you. Marissa's hand trembled dangerously close to her coffee, the cup teetering on the edge of disaster. Will you meet with me? Why must this be? What drives the heart to question, to seek answers in the shadows of uncertainty? He insists on revealing that himself. If you dare to take the plunge, he stands ready tomorrow morning. Tomorrow? Marissa's mind surged with frantic thoughts. The kids were bound for school, their futures hanging in the balance. Mrs. Reynolds felt the weight of time pressing down on her. She knew she couldn't watch them forever. And what would she choose to wear? Her most cherished outfit was a 3-year-old dress from Target, a relic of past elegance that held secrets of its own. I don't know, Lily started, her voice trembling with uncertainty. My children, Tanya interrupted, her voice laced with urgency. We understand you're a single mother. The meeting can be scheduled at your convenience, and rest assured, transportation will be provided without fail. May I inquire what this is truly about? I seek neither the spotlight nor pity. Pride was one of the last remnants clinging to Marissa's soul. Tanya's expression shifted, revealing a flicker of vulnerability beneath her steely facade. It is neither of those things, Ms. May. Mr. Musk stands firm in his conviction to acknowledge and bestow rewards, authentic compassion. He is consumed by guilt, tormented by the knowledge that his visit led to your job loss. With a swift motion, she slid the business card across the table, the air thick with unspoken tension. The card stock was thick and cream-colored, bearing nothing but a name, a phone number, and a small, gleaming silver logo that seemed to whisper secrets of its own. Pause for a moment. To think about it, Tanya said, her voice trembling with the weight of her thoughts. Reach out to this number once you've made your choice. This is my direct line. Lila slipped the card into her pocket, her heart racing with uncertainty. Thank you. I will do it. There's something else that must be addressed. Tanya's hand trembled as she reached into her bag, her heart racing, and pulled out an envelope, the weight of its contents heavy with unspoken secrets. Mr. Musk demanded that I deliver this to you, no matter your decision about meeting with him. The envelope was thick, its weight a palpable promise of secrets contained within. Lily opened it with bated breath. Within lay the cash, a silent promise of what could unfold, a substantial amount of cash. With a swift motion, she shut it tight, her eyes darting around, heart racing, desperate to ensure no one had witnessed her actions. I can't accept this, she whispered, her voice trembling with disbelief. This isn't charity, Tanya declared with unwavering resolve. It serves as restitution for the turmoil unleashed by the viral video. Take it now. It would provide Mr. Musk with a glimmer of hope amidst the turmoil of the situation. After Tanya left, Lily remained in the cafe, her gaze fixed on the envelope and the business card, the weight of the moment pressing down on her. The envelope held $2,000, a lifeline that could determine the course of the next month, enough to stave off the looming shadows of rent, bills, and hunger. As Lila sat on the bus ride home, her mind spun in a chaotic storm of questions, each one more urgent than the last. What could possibly compel Elon Musk to give a moment's thought to a McDonald's worker? What was it that he needed to talk about? Could this be nothing more than a meticulously crafted ruse, all for the sake of fleeting internet notoriety? As Lily stepped into her apartment, the weight of her choice loomed heavily in the air, a decision forged in the crucible of her thoughts. She was about to meet with Elon Musk, driven not by her own desires but by the urgent needs of Mia and Ben. They were entitled to a mother who seized every chance, no matter how terrifying or bizarre it might be. That night, with the children peacefully asleep, Marissa's heart raced as she dialed the number on Tanya's card. "This is Lily May," she declared, her voice cutting through the tension as Tanya picked up the phone. "I am ready to accept Mr. Musk's invitation." "Excellent," Tanya replied, her voice laced with an intensity that hung in the air. "Mr. Musk will be available tomorrow morning at 10 to 3 a.m., a fleeting opportunity that could change everything. Could that possibly be acceptable to you?" Marissa's mind raced as she contemplated her schedule. The kids would be at school, leaving her alone with the haunting silence, and not a single job interview in sight. "Yes, that works," she declared, her voice steady, yet charged with an undercurrent of anticipation. "Absolutely flawless. A car is set to arrive and whisk you away at 9:30. Is your address still 1742 Sycamore Avenue, apartment 3B? The question hangs in the air, charged with uncertainty and anticipation. Lily shivered, a sudden chill creeping over her. How could they possibly know where she lived? "Yes, but how did you manage to—" "Mr. Musk possesses resources, Miss May," Tanya declared with an unsettling calmness. "There is everything to worry about. Our sole intention was to ensure this experience was as seamless as it could possibly be for you." After hanging up, Lily found herself wide awake, her mind racing with thoughts that refused to quiet down. She paced her small living room, her heart racing as doubt gnawed at her mind, questioning whether she had truly made the right decision. What if this was all part of a grand scheme? What if reporters lay in wait, ready to pounce on her? The McDonald's angel confronts the billionaire. A new viral story, one she never wished for, looms over her like a dark cloud. Yet the money in the envelope felt undeniably tangible. She had taken a small sum, just enough to secure groceries on her way back home. The cashier's eyes barely flickered over the $100 bill, as if it were nothing more than a scrap of paper. The kids finally had fresh fruit with dinner, a long-awaited treat after weeks of absence. The morning arrived with an unsettling swiftness. Lilies roused the children from their slumber, the morning air thick with an unsettling urgency. "Why must we prepare in such a rush?" Mia groaned, her fingers pressing against her weary eyes, frustration etched across her face. "Mama has an important meeting today," Lila said, her voice tight as she brushed her daughter's hair with trembling hands. "Mrs. Reynolds will arrive to collect you from school." "Another job interview?" "The stakes are high, and the pressure mounts with every passing moment," Ben inquired with a sense of urgency, his heart racing with anticipation. "Something like that," Lily said, her voice trembling with unspoken weight. She feared the weight of false expectations looming over them. With a pounding heart, Lily hurriedly dropped the kids at school, then raced back home, urgency fueling her every move as she prepared for what lay ahead. With a racing heart, she rifled through every outfit in her closet, each piece a reminder of past moments, until she finally clutched the navy blue dress, the very one that had graced her at her cousin's wedding 2 years prior. It loomed larger than before, an overwhelming presence that could not be ignored. She had shed weight from the relentless cycle of skipped meals, yet it was the only thing she could cling to, the only remnant of control in her chaotic life. At precisely 9:30, her phone erupted with a sudden buzz, the message looming ominously on the screen. "The moment has come, your car is here." Through her window, Marissa's heart raced as she spotted a black Tesla ominously parked in front of her building. A driver in a dark suit loomed beside it, his eyes flickering over his phone, tension crackling in the air. "Here goes nothing," she murmured, her heart racing in her chest. The driver flung the car door open just as she drew near. "Ms. May, I am Carlos. Today I will escort you to your meeting." The Tesla loomed before Marissa, a sleek embodiment of luxury that eclipsed every vehicle she had ever encountered. The seats were plush leather, and an intoxicating scent of newness hung in the air. Classical music whispered through concealed speakers, its haunting notes weaving an atmosphere thick with anticipation. "Where are we truly?" Lily inquired as they drove away from her apartment complex, the weight of uncertainty hanging in the air. "Tesla headquarters loomed in Palo Alto," Carlos replied, his voice heavy with anticipation. "The journey stretches on, a daunting 40 minutes as the relentless traffic looms ahead." Marissa's heart raced violently. Where is the Tesla headquarters located? She had anticipated yet another coffee shop, perhaps a restaurant, but never the very office where Elon Musk toiled. "Do you desire water or coffee?" Carlos pointed sharply to a small cooler nestled ominously between the seats. "Pastries await if hunger strikes." Marissa's stomach roared in protest, a fierce reminder of her hunger, yet her pride held her back, forcing her to utter the words, "No thank you, I'm fine." Carlos's smile held a secret as he glanced in the rearview mirror. The road stretches endlessly ahead, each mile a reminder of the distance yet to be covered. The chocolate croissants are nothing short of extraordinary. Every morning Mr. Musk has them brought in, as if the very air crackles with anticipation. Pride was consumed by the relentless grip of hunger, perhaps just one then. The croissant was an explosion of flavor, the pinnacle of Marissa's culinary experiences in what felt like an eternity. Delicately flaky, irresistibly buttery, concealing a heart of rich chocolate within. She fought against the urge to devour it, forcing herself to take each bite with agonizing slowness, as if the very act of savoring could stretch the moment into eternity. Outside the window, the scenery shifted dramatically from bustling city streets to expansive highways, finally revealing the meticulously crafted landscape of Silicon Valley. Massive company buildings loomed like imposing castles of glass and steel. People in expensive clothes rushed along the sidewalks, clutching coffee cups, their expressions a mix of urgency and significance. "We're here," Carlos declared, as he swung the vehicle into the expansive parking area. The Tesla building loomed, its sleek and modern design casting an imposing shadow over the landscape. Solar panels loomed over the roof, while electric cars crowded the parking lot, a silent testament to a new era unfolding. A sign at the entrance loomed ominously, its silver letters spelling out Tesla, a name that echoed with promise and intrigue. Carlos swung open her door, the air thick with anticipation. "Ms. Williams is waiting for you in the lobby." Marissa's legs trembled with uncertainty as she approached the looming building, each step heavy with anticipation. What was she doing here, in this moment, under these circumstances? She was an outsider in this realm of tech billionaires and opulent offices, a stark contrast to the glitz that surrounded her. She was destined for the confines of a cash register or the drudgery of cleaning hotel rooms, roles that barely scraped by for those of her kind. The lobby stood stark and glaring, its simplicity almost suffocating in the harsh light. One wall was a sheer expanse of glass, revealing a garden where a small fountain whispered secrets into the air. Tanya hovered by the reception desk, her fingers flying over her phone screen, tension crackling in the air around her. Her gaze shot up, heart racing as Lily stepped into the room. "Ms. May, the moment has arrived. Welcome to Tesla." Tanya reached out her hand, a silent plea hanging in the air. "Your presence is appreciated. Thank you for being here." "Thank you for the ride," Lily replied, her voice trembling as she fought to mask her uncertainty. "Absolutely. Come with me now." They entered an elevator devoid of buttons, a chilling silence enveloping them as Tanya pressed her thumb against a small screen, the air thick with anticipation, the doors shut with a chilling quietness. As the elevator ascended, Tanya's voice trembled with anticipation. "Mr. Musk is eager to meet you." He seldom engages in personal meetings anymore, yet he was remarkably adamant about meeting with you. I still can't grasp the reason, Lily confessed, her voice trembling with uncertainty. Tanya's smile flickered, a brief moment of light in the shadow of uncertainty. He will reveal everything, and the truth will unfold in a way that leaves no room for doubt. The elevator doors slid open, revealing a vast, expansive office that seemed to breathe with anticipation. Windows loomed from floor to ceiling, framing a breathtaking yet daunting view of the mountains that towered beyond Palo Pay. At one end of the room loomed a desk, crafted from what appeared to be a single, imposing piece of wood. By the windows loomed a gathering of inviting chairs, encircling a low table, their presence charged with an unspoken tension. And there, poised by the window, was Elon Musk. He spun around as they stepped inside, and in that instant, Marissa's heart raced with recognition. He appeared transformed from that fateful night at McDonald's, wearing a crisp button-down shirt that contrasted sharply with the rumpled t-shirt he had donned before, exuding an air of newfound confidence. Yet his eyes remained unchanged, piercing, inquisitive, and oddly compassionate. "Masme," he declared, striding toward her with his hand outstretched. "Your presence is greatly appreciated. Anticipation has been building within me, a fervent desire to finally encounter you. Once more, that is." Lily gripped his hand tightly, her heart racing as she struggled to find her voice. "Thank you for the invitation, Mr. Musk. I'm begging you, call me Elon." He pointed sharply to the seating area, his expression tense with unspoken urgency. "Would you care for a cup of coffee? Tea?" "Coffee would be nice," Lily declared, grappling with the notion that accepting small kindnesses did not equate to accepting charity. Tanya slipped out of the room, her heart racing as they settled into their seats. Lily sat on the edge of her chair, her heart racing, unable to lean back even for a moment. "I want to apologize," Elon began, his voice heavy with unspoken weight, catching her off guard. "I never meant for our interaction to lead to the loss of your job." "It wasn't your fault," Lily said, her voice urgent and filled with intensity. "I shattered the rules. I was acutely aware of the truth lurking beneath the surface." Elon's expression shifted into a shadowy scowl. "Rules that punish kindness are rules that demand defiance." He leaned forward, his heart racing, the air thick with anticipation. "Have you secured a new job yet?" Marissa's gaze fell to her trembling hands, a storm of emotions swirling within her. "Not yet. The video has made everything so much harder," she nodded, a flicker of uncertainty crossing her face. "Every single person knows who I am. In a world where opportunity hangs by a thread, the McDonald's angel stands alone, shunned by those who fear the chaos of generosity. No one dares to extend a hand, wary of the unpredictable gift of free food that could unravel their carefully constructed order." "That's absolutely absurd," Elon declared, his brow furrowing in discontent. "You used your hard-earned money to pay for my meal." I caught sight of the receipt. "The sole offering you relinquished was an apple pie. What price does it bear? $1." In that moment, Marissa's agreement hung in the air, heavy with unspoken implications. Yet rules are rules, as my manager ominously declared. A woman burst into the room, her hands trembling as she placed the tray of coffee on the table, then swiftly retreated into the shadows. Elon poured for both of them, the tension thickening in the air as the liquid cascaded into the glasses, each drop echoing like a heartbeat in the silence that enveloped them. "Marissa, if I may, my purpose in bringing you here extends far beyond mere apologies." Elon watched as the sugar spiraled into the depths of his coffee, each grain dissolving into the dark abyss, a moment suspended in time. "I summoned you here because I hold a deep conviction in acknowledging those who stand out as truly exceptional. What you did that night was nothing short of extraordinary." Marissa's cheeks flushed with a deep crimson, a wave of heat washing over her as the moment hung in the air, charged with unspoken tension. It was more than just a meal. It was more than a mere meal, Elon retorted, his voice laced with intensity. You were completely unaware of my identity when you extended that offer of payment. Your register was abruptly turned away from the window, leaving a palpable tension in the air. I observed you glide your card through the reader, unwavering and resolute. That reveals the depths of your character in a way that is impossible to ignore. He raised the cup to his lips, the steam curling around him, before plunging back into the conversation. Individuals like you are a rare find, Marissa. Individuals who act with integrity, not for the gaze of others, but because it is the very essence of their being. Lily stood frozen, her mind racing, grappling with the weight of silence that enveloped her. No one had ever dared to speak of her in such a manner before. I'd like to offer you a job, Elon declared, his voice cutting through the silence like a knife. The coffee cup teetered on the edge of Marissa's grasp, threatening to plunge into chaos. A position at Tesla? Indeed, Elon has confirmed it. In our customer relations department, we require individuals who possess an innate sense of empathy and the ability to navigate complex problems with finesse. Individuals who grasp the reality that, at times, the rigidity of rules must yield to the complexities of human nature. But I lack a college degree, Lily exclaimed, her voice trembling with urgency. I've never set foot in an office quite like this one. You possess a wealth of life experience and an undeniable natural talent, Elon declared, his voice heavy with conviction. We will guide you through the intricate technical aspects. Character cannot be taught. He thrust a folder across the table, the air thick with unspoken tension. The starting salary stands at a striking $85,000 per year, accompanied by a comprehensive benefits package that includes health care for you and your children. Additionally, flexible hours are offered to meet your family's needs, along with a Tesla transportation allowance that adds an extra layer of allure to this opportunity. Lily gasped for air, her lungs constricted in a vice of panic. The sum loomed larger than anything she had ever earned, a staggering figure that sent her heart racing. It would alter the very fabric of reality. A new apartment awaits, filled with the promise of good food and the relief of never having to choose between electricity and medicine again. Why? She finally found the courage to ask. What compels you to take such a risk for someone you barely know? Elon's expression shifted, deepening into a realm of contemplation. Perhaps we are not as unfamiliar as we once believed, Marissa. I must confirm something before proceeding. But he hesitated. Kindness weaves invisible threads, binding us in ways we often fail to recognize until the moment is upon us. He stood, a silent command that the meeting was drawing to a close. Use the weekend to ponder this decision carefully. The offer comes with a weight that cannot be ignored. This is a gamble on an individual I am convinced will become a vital force within my company. As Lily descended in the elevator with Tanya, her mind raced with a whirlwind of possibilities, each more intense than the last. A legitimate job, a promising salary, and the promise of security for her children hang in the balance. He truly means it, you know, Tanya whispered, her voice trembling with urgency. This is no mere publicity stunt. He never dares to do those. It feels almost unreal, Lily confessed, her voice trembling with uncertainty. Tanya's smile flickered, a brief moment of light in the shadow of uncertainty. In this cynical world, Ms. May, there are moments when good things emerge, defying all odds. The same Tesla lingered in the shadows, poised to whisk Lily away into the unknown. As she gazed out at the Silicon Valley landscape rushing past, a flicker of hope ignited within her for the first time in years, a fragile ember against the shadows of her past. Lily held back the news of the job offer from the kids, the weight of her decision hanging in the air. What if everything fell apart? What if Elon Musk had a sudden change of heart? It was wiser to hold back until every detail was undeniably clear. What transpired during your meeting, Mama? What is it that you're not telling me? Ben demanded that evening as they sat down for dinner, the tension thick in the air. A genuine dinner featuring chicken and vegetables purchased with the money from the envelope. "It was interesting," Lila said, her voice laced with caution. "Good news may be on the horizon, but the wait is almost unbearable." The weekend unfolded in a whirlwind of anticipation and dread. Lily pored over the job offer packet again and again, her heart racing with anticipation and uncertainty. The benefits appeared astonishing, almost too good to be true. Health insurance that encompassed every possible need, a retirement plan that promised security, childcare assistance that alleviated burdens, and even tuition reimbursement should she dare to pursue college classes. By Monday morning, Lily stood at a crossroads, her decision weighing heavily upon her. With a trembling hand, she dialed the number Tanya had entrusted to her, the weight of uncertainty hanging in the air. "Good morning, Ms. May," Tanya replied, her voice steady yet laced with an undercurrent of anticipation. "Have you had a moment to weigh the gravity of the offer?" "Indeed," Lily declared. "I find myself compelled to accept. Incredible. Mr. Musk will undoubtedly be pleased. Are you able to begin next Monday? This will allow our HR department the crucial time needed to meticulously process your paperwork." "Next Monday works perfectly," Lilia agreed, her heart pounding with anticipation. "Outstanding. A car is set to arrive for you at 8 a.m., ready to whisk you away. In the meantime, Mr. Musk urgently requests another meeting with you this week. Is Wednesday a possibility for you?" Lily stood frozen, her heart racing. "Yes, but I must inquire. Why?" Tanya's voice trembled as she revealed. "He has something urgent to discuss with you, something that delves deep into history." "Is it truly historical? What could that possibly signify?" Marissa's curiosity ignited, a firestorm of questions swirling within her mind. "Wednesday is fine," she declared, her voice steady yet laced with an undercurrent of uncertainty. After hanging up, Marissa's heart raced as she finally allowed herself to celebrate. She twirled through the cramped kitchen, laughter spilling from her lips, a bright spark in the dim light. That evening she gathered the kids around the table, her heart racing as she declared, "I got a new job." The words hung in the air, heavy with anticipation. An exceptional opportunity at a prominent company known as Tesla. The automotive manufacturer? Ben's eyes bulged behind his glasses, a storm of emotions swirling within them. The very one that belongs to Elon Musk? Indeed, Lily confirmed. "Are we finally on the brink of wealth?" Mia demanded. Ilea let out a sharp, unexpected laugh that echoed in the silence, a sound filled with tension and uncertainty. "We may not be wealthy, Mija, but we will have just enough to get by, just enough to secure a better apartment, to don fresh clothes for school, and to finally cast aside the relentless worry of unpaid bills." That night, Lily surrendered to a deep slumber, a rare reprieve that had eluded her for months. Wednesday loomed on the horizon, its arrival swift and unavoidable. This time, when the Tesla pulled up, Marissa's heart raced, a storm of emotions swirling within her. Carlos was behind the wheel once more, the weight of the world pressing down on him. "Good morning, Ms. May," he greeted her, his voice laced with an unspoken tension. "Today we embark on a journey to an entirely new location." "Is this not the Tesla office?" Lily inquired, her voice laced with astonishment. "Absolutely not, ma'am. Mr. Musk requested a meeting at one of his other properties, a decision that hung in the air with an unsettling weight." The drive twisted and turned through the treacherous roads, ascending into the ominous hills looming over Palo Alto. Houses loomed larger and more isolated, their long driveways stretching into the distance, guarded by imposing security gates. At last they veered onto a secluded road, its entrance sign barely noticeable, shrouded in mystery. "This land is off limits to all unauthorized individuals." At the end of the road loomed a large house, its presence both imposing and foreboding. It wasn't a mansion, yet it loomed larger than any home Lily had ever set foot in. It stood in stark contrast to its surroundings, a striking blend of glass and natural wood looming amidst the towering trees, evoking a sense of tension in the air. "We're here," Carlos declared, halting at the front entrance. Lily stepped out, a wave of unease crashing over her as she realized the stark contrast of her simple blue blouse and black pants against the vibrant world around her. Just as her anxiety began to swell, the front door swung open, revealing none other than Elon Musk himself, standing there like a thunderclap in the silence. "Marissa, welcome," he uttered, his voice heavy with unspoken tension. "Your presence is deeply appreciated." He donned jeans and a t-shirt, a stark contrast to the formality of their office meeting. He appeared calm, yet there was an unsettling eagerness in his demeanor. "Thank you for inviting me," Lily replied, her voice barely above a whisper as she stepped inside, the weight of the moment hanging heavily in the air. The interior held an unexpected simplicity, a stark contrast to the opulence one might anticipate from a billionaire's abode. Sharp angles inviting seating, expansive windows framing views of lush gardens and towering trees. No gold fixtures, no crystal, just stark reality. Chandeliers hang like silent sentinels, their crystals glinting ominously in the dim light. Only the most meticulous design and the finest materials stand in stark contrast to the chaos surrounding them. A delivery team hovered outside, the truck brimming with furniture, beds, dressers, a dining table, a plush sofa, and desks for the children, all waiting to be unleashed into the home. The delivery foreman revealed that Mr. Musk personally chose these items, a detail that hung in the air with palpable significance. He insisted that you understand this is not charity, it is a bold investment in the well-being of his employees. Marissa's heart raced as tears welled in her eyes. The furniture being brought in felt like a storm brewing within her. It was a scene of striking beauty, an elegant simplicity that concealed deeper complexities, and a practicality that hinted at unspoken tensions beneath the surface, precisely what they craved. That night, as the children lay in their new beds, cocooned in the safety of their own rooms, Lily stood on her small balcony, her gaze fixed on the stars, each one a distant whisper of the unknown. She recalled her mother, the embodiment of kindness, who had once reached out to a young, struggling Elon Musk, forever altering the course of his life. "You were right, Mama," she breathed into the dark expanse above. Kindness inevitably circles back, manifesting in ways you might never expect. 3 months raced by, engulfed in a storm of tumultuous transformations. Lily awoke, the heavy knot of worry that once twisted in her stomach now absent, leaving an unsettling void in its place. The bills were paid just in time, the refrigerator remained brimming with food, and the children flourished against all odds. Ben's struggle with asthma took a turn for the better as he adhered to his medication and embraced a new way of living. His new teacher unearthed a startling revelation. He possessed an extraordinary gift for science and math. He plunged into the robotics club at school, his words a relentless torrent about constructing rockets, just like the visionary Elon Musk. Mia blossomed as well, her transformation unfolding with an intensity that captivated all who witnessed it. She forged new friendships and plunged into dance classes after school, each step a leap into the unknown. Her shy smile emerged with increasing frequency, and the question of whether they had enough money for groceries faded into silence. Marissa's work at Tesla pushed her to the brink, confronting her with challenges that her previous jobs had never dared to present. She grasped the complexities with astonishing speed, earning accolades from her supervisors that echoed through the halls. The customer relations team recognized her remarkable talent for forging connections, for truly listening and grasping the depths of their concerns. "You have a natural talent for this," Jamal declared, his voice steady yet charged with intensity during her first performance review. "We have been overwhelmed by a surge of customer compliments, each one singling you out by name." Lily continued to take the company Tesla to work each day. Even though David had finally taught her to drive it herself, she was desperately saving to buy her own car, a necessity that loomed large in her mind, something practical and reliable, yet far from the allure of a Tesla. On a chilling autumn morning, Tanya's fingers trembled as she dialed Marissa's desk, the air thick with anticipation. "Mr. Musk demands your presence today at 2 p.m., if that works with your schedule," she said, her voice laced with uncertainty. "Of course," Lily replied, her mind racing with anticipation about what he wanted to discuss. It had been weeks, no months, since she had exchanged a word with Elon face to face. The silence loomed heavy, punctuated only by his sporadic, brief messages that seemed to dance on the edge of casual concern, inquiring about her progress. Each text felt like a reminder of the distance that had grown between them, a chasm filled with unspoken words and unresolved tension. At the stroke of 2 p.m. with a sharp rap, Marissa's knuckles struck the door of Elon's office. "Come in," he commanded, his voice echoing with urgency. The office appeared unchanged since her initial visit, a haunting reminder of the past that loomed over her like a shadow. Vast windows loom over the room, stark furniture stands resolute, and a handful of rocket models perch precariously on the shelves, hinting at untold stories of ambition and flight. Elon loomed near his desk, his voice low and urgent as he spoke into the phone. He gestured for her to take a seat, his focus still locked on the call that consumed him. "Apologies for that," he uttered, his voice heavy with regret after the call ended. Issues surrounding the launch delay loom ominously. "How are you adjusting, Marissa?" In a moment, charged with anticipation, she revealed her truth. "Your generosity in granting me this opportunity is beyond words. I am profoundly grateful. No gratitude required." He sat across from her, the weight of his words hanging in the air. "You've proven yourself invaluable to the team. Jamal confided in me that you're among the finest customer relations specialists we've brought on in years," and Marissa's cheeks flushed with a deep crimson. "I find myself captivated by the work. There's an undeniable thrill in the act of helping others." "That's precisely why I requested this meeting with you today," Elon said, leaning forward with intensity. "I have an important announcement to make. I'm offering you a promotion." "A promotion?" Lily echoed, her voice trembling with disbelief. "Yet it has only been 3 months since I arrived here. 3 months of relentless pursuit, where you've risen above the rest. We are on the brink of launching a groundbreaking customer experience initiative, and I need you to take the helm and lead it into uncharted territory." He unveiled the new role, the Customer Experience Team Leader, a position fraught with responsibility and expectation. Lily would take charge of a small team, craft training programs, and play a pivotal role in defining Tesla's customer interactions. The position arrived with a significant salary boost and an escalation of responsibility, heightening the stakes dramatically. "Why must it be me?" Lily demanded. "Surely there are others with far greater experience lurking in the shadows." "Experience isn't everything," Elon shot back, his voice laced with conviction. "You possess a unique blend of genuine empathy and practical problem-solving skills, a combination that is truly extraordinary. You know the weight of hardship, the desperate need for assistance, yet you cling fiercely to your dignity. That perspective holds immense value." Marissa's mind raced with the weight of her thoughts. The promotion loomed ahead, promising longer hours and daunting new challenges, yet it also held the tantalizing prospect of greater security for her family's future. "I must find a way to secure longer after-school care for my children," she murmured, her mind racing with the implications. "The company daycare runs until 6:30, Elon reminded, his voice steady yet urgent. And the position offers a tantalizing glimpse of work-from-home flexibility." As she stepped out of his office, a whirlwind of emotions surged within Marissa. She had made the fateful decision to accept the promotion. She was set to embark on her new role the following month. But first, she had to train her replacement, a task that loomed before her like a storm on the horizon. That evening, in the glow of their bright, cozy kitchen, Lily leaned in, her voice low and charged, as she shared the news with the children over dinner. "Mama announced today that she got a promotion." "What is a promotion?" Mia inquired, her fork piercing the broccoli, a silent storm brewing within her as she chewed without a hint of protest. A startling turn of events has emerged, as they now possess the means to acquire fresh vegetables. It signifies that I will take on a much larger role, one filled with greater responsibility, Lily revealed, her voice heavy with the weight of the moment. And just a bit more money. "Will you really come to pick us up from daycare?" Ben inquired, his brow furrowing with deep concern. "On most days, indeed. There are days when I may arrive a bit later, but such moments are rare." Marissa's hand trembled as she reached out, gripping his with a fierce urgency. "This is a significant moment, mijo. It signifies that our security will reach new heights. Is it finally time to bring a dog into our lives?" Mia demanded. She had been pleading for months, her desperation growing with each passing day. Lily let out a sharp, unexpected laugh that echoed in the silence, a sound that seemed to shatter the tension in the air. "We must wait and witness the unfolding of the new job's fate." After dinner, as the children buried themselves in their homework, Lily picked up the phone and dialed Mrs. Reynolds, her heart racing with anticipation. Despite the distance that now separated them, they clung to their connection, their bond refusing to fade away. "A promotion looms on the horizon." "That's wonderful news," Mrs. Reynolds declared, her voice trembling with excitement. When Lily told her, "I always knew you were a smart girl," the weight of those words hung in the air, charged with unspoken tension. "I couldn't have made it through those tough times without your help," Lily said, her voice trembling with emotion. "That is the very essence of what neighbors are meant to do. Assist one another." Mrs. Reynolds's voice trembled with an unexpected fragility. "Your mother would swell with pride at your accomplishments." "I hope so," Lily whispered, her voice barely breaking the heavy silence that hung in the air. The following day at work, Marissa's colleagues gathered with palpable excitement, throwing a small yet fervent party in her honor during the lunch break, their cheers echoing in the air. Layla, now a confidant, arrived with a box of cupcakes, the air thick with anticipation. "To our new team leader," Jamal declared, lifting his coffee mug with a fervor that electrified the room. "Truly earned without a doubt." As Lily scanned the room, her co-workers' smiles felt like a haunting echo of warmth, stirring emotions within her that had long been buried. It was a moment charged with an intensity she had never known in any workplace before. These people recognized the weight of her contributions. They perceived her as something far greater than merely an employee. They viewed her as a figure brimming with ideas and untapped potential, a force waiting to be unleashed. That fateful weekend, Lily led the children to a park shrouded in the shadows of their new apartment. As they swung back and forth, laughter echoing in the air, she remained seated on the bench, her heart heavy with the weight of memories, contemplating the profound changes that had unfolded in mere months. A woman settled beside her, casting a glance toward the playground, the air thick with unspoken tension. "Your children?" "Yes," Lila smiled, but the weight of the moment hung heavily in the air. The boy with glasses stood there, his gaze fixed, while the girl in the pink shirt lingered nearby, an air of uncertainty hanging between them. The woman noted their apparent happiness, a flicker of uncertainty crossing her mind. "Mine is the one hurtling down the slide for the 20th time, the thrill of the descent coursing through me." Her laughter echoed through the silence, a sharp sound that pierced the air. "Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Deanna." "Marissa!" They exchanged words, their children engaged in a game, laughter echoing in the air, a moment suspended in time. Deanna resided in the same apartment complex, her days consumed by the relentless demands of her job as a nurse at the local hospital. "We should get the kids together sometime," Deanna urged, her voice laced with anticipation, as they readied themselves to depart. "My son desperately needs more friends in the neighborhood." "We'd like that," Lila said. a sudden awareness dawning on her that she too was in desperate need of companionship close at hand. As they made their way home, Ben's voice rose with fervor, his words tumbling out in a rush as he shared his ambitious vision for a science project. Meanwhile, Mia danced ahead, her voice ringing out with the haunting melody of a song she'd recently discovered, the air thick with anticipation. Marissa's heart surged with a feeling that had long been lost to her, a haunting echo of something once cherished. They had crossed a threshold. No longer mere survivors, they were embracing life, forging bonds, and daring to dream of what lay ahead. That night, after tucking the children into bed, Leela sat on her balcony, clutching a cup of tea, the weight of the world pressing down on her shoulders. The stars blazed fiercely in the night sky, and once more she was consumed by thoughts of her mother. "I wish you could see this, Mama," she whispered, her voice trembling with urgency. "How I long for you to witness the profound impact of the kindness you extended to a stranger, a ripple that transformed our lives in ways we could never have imagined." Years later, in a moment of breathtaking clarity, a shooting star blazed through the night sky, leaving a trail of brilliance in its wake. Lizzie smiled, a flicker of warmth igniting within her as her mother's love enveloped her, a haunting presence that lingered in the air. The following morning at work, an email arrived from Elon Musk, sending a jolt of anticipation through the air. The subject line loomed ominously: "Personal invitation." Inside lay an invitation to a small gathering at his home the following weekend, a celebration for key team members and their families, shrouded in anticipation and unspoken tension. "You must bring your children," as the invitation clearly stated. "I must meet Ben and Mia." Lily read the email twice, her heart racing as she realized that Elon Musk had remembered her children's names. Yet there was a haunting certainty in his gaze, as if every detail was etched into his mind, refusing to fade away. As Lily confirmed her attendance, a surge of realization washed over her, starkly contrasting the shadows of that fateful night at the McDonald's drive-thru window. She had journeyed from the depths of loss to the heights of a new life, from the clutches of despair to the flickering light of hope. All because her mother had instilled in her the profound truth that kindness holds weight, even when it appears trivial and inconsequential, even when no eyes are upon you, even when it demands a sacrifice. Some lessons Lily understood held a value far beyond what any amount of money could ever purchase. 6 months slipped away. Winter gave way to spring, and then the oppressive heat of summer descended. Lily stepped into her role as team leader, her confidence swelling with each passing moment, ready to face the challenges ahead. With each passing week, the stakes grew higher, presenting daunting challenges that demanded not just resilience, but the mastery of new skills. She delved into the world of electric vehicles, explored the intricacies of sustainable energy, and navigated the complexities of corporate management. She enrolled in online classes focused on business communication and leadership, all funded by Tesla's education program. On a warm June evening, Lily found herself alone at the dining table, the silence of the house heavy around her as she toiled over a presentation for the following day, the weight of expectation pressing down on her shoulders. Her new laptop hummed ominously in the silence as she meticulously reviewed the customer feedback data, each word carrying the weight of anticipation. A text message suddenly flashed on her phone, pulling her attention with an urgency that sent a shiver down her spine. "Are you still toiling away?" It came from Ben, the senior engineer who had been guiding her through the intricate labyrinth of Tesla's technical systems. She replied, her voice taut with urgency. "I'm just finishing up a presentation. Do not linger in the shadows of the night. The data will remain waiting ominously for tomorrow's light." Marissa's smile flickered, a brief moment of light in the shadows that surrounded her. Ben had transformed into a steadfast ally over the tumultuous months that had passed. He held his composure as she bombarded him with questions, never allowing a hint of mockery to escape his lips, ensuring she felt valued in her quest for understanding. They had begun to share lunch together with increasing frequency, delving into conversations that spanned from work projects to their most cherished books, each moment charged with unspoken tension. She replied, her words laced with urgency. "Almost done. Thank you for taking the time to check." The following morning, Lily hurriedly dropped the kids off at the Tesla daycare center, her heart racing with the weight of the day ahead. Ben dashed away without a moment's hesitation, eager to immerse himself in the unfolding science activity. By the age of 7, he was fervently expressing his ambition to become an engineer. Mia, on the brink of turning 10, made her way to the art corner, her heart racing as she focused on the painting destined for the daycare's summer showcase. Mrs. May urgently contacted Miss Patterson, the daycare director. "Ben's science fair project is nothing short of astonishing, leaving everyone in awe of its brilliance. Did you assist him with it?" "Not much, Lily," confessed, her voice barely above a whisper. He received a crucial piece of advice from Ben in the engineering department, a moment that could change everything. They've been toiling away at it during their fleeting lunch breaks. "Indeed, it is nothing short of extraordinary. We are stepping into the district-wide competition next month, and the stakes couldn't be higher." Pride surged violently in Marissa's chest, a tempest of emotion threatening to consume her. Her son, who once trudged through life in shoes with gaping holes, a stark reminder of their struggles, was now flourishing against all odds. His asthma hung in a precarious balance, a silent threat lurking just beneath the surface. His grades soared to remarkable heights, and he was surrounded by mentors who placed their unwavering faith in him. In the dimly lit conference room, tension hung thick in the air as Marissa's team assembled, their eyes fixed on her, anticipation crackling like electricity before her presentation began. 12 faces stared intently at her, anticipation hanging thick in the air as she connected her laptop to the projector. Among them was Elon Musk, who made rare appearances at department meetings, a fleeting presence that kept him tethered to the pulse of daily operations. 6 months ago, the very thought of him would have sent shivers down her spine. In that moment, with a heart racing and uncertainty hanging in the air, Lily found the courage to voice her ideas to him, a tension crackling between them. He had emerged as a keen observer, absorbing every word, every nuance, and cherishing the insights from every corner of the company. "Good morning, everyone," Lily began, her voice trembling with anticipation. "Today, I unveil the gripping results of our customer experience survey, accompanied by urgent recommendations for improvement that demand immediate attention." The presentation unfolded without a hitch. Lily had poured her heart and soul into her preparations, meticulously ensuring that every piece of data was flawless and each suggestion was not just practical but essential. As she concluded, a wave of colleagues surged forward, their eyes alight with curiosity, firing off probing questions that she met with unwavering confidence. "Excellent work, Marissa," Elon declared as the meeting drew to a close. "Your idea about the mobile service notifications truly captivates me. Is it possible for you to implement that by next quarter?" Without hesitation, she responded with a firm yes. "My team is currently engaged in the intense task of developing the framework." As the afternoon wore on, Ben made his way to her office, the air thick with unspoken tension. "I heard your presentation was a hit," he said, his voice low as he leaned against her doorframe, the tension thick in the air. Ben stood tall, his kind eyes piercing through the silence, his quiet manner enveloping those around him in an unexpected comfort that felt almost surreal. Lily acknowledged with a weighty sense of gratitude for your technical input. Your help was the only light in the darkness of my confusion about the battery issues. With a palpable pause, he finally spoke, happy to help any time, his voice laced with uncertainty. "In a twist of fate, I find myself taking my nephew to the Science Museum this weekend. Ben could very well find himself captivated by it too. Will you and the kids dare to join us?" Marissa's heart raced with an unexpected jolt of surprise. Was this merely a friendly invitation? Or did it hold a deeper significance? Regardless of the circumstances, Ben would be captivated by the Science Museum. "We'd like that," she said, her voice laced with anticipation. Mia has been yearning to witness the butterfly exhibit there, her anticipation growing with each passing moment. Excellent. Saturday at 10. The moment hangs in the air, charged with anticipation. I will pick you up. The museum trip unfolded with unexpected triumph. Ben and Ben's nephew Tommy dashed from exhibit to exhibit, his voice ringing out with excitement over the robots and interactive displays that surrounded him. Mia stood transfixed, her heart racing as she beheld the mesmerizing butterfly garden. Ben seized the moment, purchasing ice cream for everyone, and they savored it in the museum's sun-drenched courtyard, where the atmosphere crackled with excitement. "Your kids are incredible," Ben said to Marissa, his voice laced with admiration as they observed the children intently studying the solar panel display. Intelligent and compassionate, a true reflection of their mother. Marissa's cheeks flushed with a sudden heat. "They create an illusion of simplicity. They stand strong, defying the odds after all that we've endured." "We'd love that," she declared, her voice steady yet charged with unspoken emotion. Summer surged forward, a relentless cycle of toil, fleeting moments with family, and the rare electric outings with Ben. The children were captivated by him, particularly Ben, who bombarded him with a relentless stream of questions about rockets and electric cars. On a fateful evening in late July, Elon approached Marissa's office just as she was about to depart, the air thick with unspoken tension. "Do you have a minute?" he asked, his voice laced with urgency. "Absolutely." He slammed the door shut and took a seat across from her desk, the air thick with unspoken tension. "I must share this with you directly. Your team's enhancements in customer service have propelled our satisfaction ratings to an astonishing 18% increase. The board is utterly captivated." "That's incredible news," Lily exclaimed. The air was thick with tension as the team rallied together, each member pushing their limits, united in a singular purpose. "Leadership is everything," Elon countered, his voice steady yet charged with intensity. "What you've created here is nothing short of extraordinary," he hesitated, "and in that moment I find myself compelled to present you with yet another chance." Marissa's heart raced as he detailed the new position, Director of Customer Experience for all North American operations. It would entail a weightier burden of responsibility, extensive travel, and a dramatic increase in compensation. "It's a monumental leap," Elon conceded, "yet I have faith that you are prepared. Time and again, you have demonstrated your worth over these intense 9 months." "Can I think about it?" Lily asked, her voice trembling with uncertainty. "It would signify a turning point for my children." "Absolutely. Seize the weekend. We will talk on Monday." In the stillness of the night, with the children tucked away in their dreams, Marissa's heart raced as she dialed her sister, Lucia, to delve into the weighty offer that loomed over them. "Director?" "Marissa, that's incredible!" Lucia exclaimed, her voice trembling with excitement. "Mom would be overflowing with pride." Lily felt a knot tighten in her stomach at the thought of it. 3 or 4 days a month spent traveling, a looming uncertainty hanging over her like a storm cloud. "The kids will be fine," Lucia insisted, her voice steady yet laced with an undercurrent of uncertainty. "They find themselves in a precarious situation now. And doesn't Tesla possess that incredible daycare? Moreover, it seems that Ben is more than willing to lend a hand." Marissa's smile flickered, a fleeting moment of recognition at her sister's sharp insight. "Are we truly just friends?" "For now," Lucia taunted, her voice laced with a hint of mischief. "But truly, sister, you have fought hard for this moment. Do you recall the moment you sat at your kitchen table, tears streaming down your face after losing your job at McDonald's? Witness the incredible journey you've undertaken. The memory loomed like a shadow, haunting and elusive, as if it belonged to a life long forgotten. Yet, it was only a mere year ago. That fateful weekend, Lily led the children to the beach, where the air crackled with anticipation. As they constructed their fragile sandcastles and danced in the crashing waves, her gaze remained fixed upon them, a silent sentinel in the midst of their carefree joy. They stood on the precipice of joy, their health a fragile shield, and their security a fleeting illusion. Perhaps Lucia was indeed correct. They could endure certain transformations, particularly those that brought about hope and renewal. As the sun dipped below the horizon on that fateful Sunday evening, her phone buzzed ominously with a message from Elon. The weight of the decision looms, yet there is no immediate pressure. The choice that serves you and your family best is the only choice that matters. On that fateful Monday morning, Lily stepped into Elon's office, her heart racing as she prepared to deliver her answer. "I'd like to accept the director position," she declared, her voice steady yet charged with anticipation. "Under one crucial condition. I am determined to establish a mentorship program for single parents re-entering the workforce. Individuals brimming with talent and determination, yet yearning for the crucial support that could propel them to triumph." Elon's face suddenly erupted into a rare, full smile, a moment charged with unexpected intensity. "Without a doubt." With a determined gaze, he reached out his hand, urging action to unfold. "Congratulations, Director May. The moment has arrived, and the weight of this achievement hangs in the air, charged with anticipation." As Lily shook his hand, a surge of realization coursed through her. Life had a way of twisting and turning in the most unforeseen directions, from the dim glow of a late-night McDonald's window to the stark, polished confines of a director's office at Tesla. From a desperate single mother battling against the odds to a powerful mentor and formidable leader, all because of small acts of kindness that sent shockwaves through time, altering lives across years and generations. 1 year had slipped away since that fateful night at the McDonald's drive-thru, a moment forever etched in memory. Tesla was hosting its annual holiday party in a stunning hotel ballroom in Palo Alto, where anticipation hung thick in the air. Twinkling lights hung ominously from the ceiling, casting eerie shadows, while elegant decorations adorned every table, hinting at secrets waiting to be uncovered. Lily burst onto the scene, accompanied by Ben and Mia, each adorned in their most exquisite attire, the air thick with anticipation. Ben donned a button-up shirt, the fabric taut against his skin, and new glasses with frames that seemed to hold secrets of their own. Mia spun in a dazzling green dress, her hair adorned with shimmering clips, each movement a captivating spectacle. Ben stood at the entrance, his heart racing as he bent down to high-five the children, the air thick with anticipation. He turned to Marissa, his smile a beacon of warmth amidst the charged atmosphere. In the shadows of the past months, their friendship had ignited into a fierce and undeniable connection. They moved with caution, acutely aware of the children's emotions, yet the bond that tethered them was inescapable. "You look beautiful," he said to Marissa, his eyes locked onto her simple red dress, a mix of admiration and something deeper swirling in the air between them. "So do you," she replied, her heart racing as she took in the sight of him in that striking dark suit. Inside, the ballroom throbbed with a cacophony of conversation and laughter, each sound a pulse of tension in the air. Amidst the swirling excitement, hundreds of Tesla employees and their families gathered, their laughter and chatter echoing in the charged air, each moment brimming with anticipation. Lily stood before her team, a formidable group now 20 strong, a testament to the relentless expansion of the customer experience department under her unwavering leadership. "Director May," Jamal called urgently, beckoning her to come meet his family, the air thick with anticipation. "My wife is on the edge of her seat, eager to meet the woman who transformed our customer service systems forever." Marissa's cheeks flushed with warmth at the unexpected praise, yet she engaged in lively conversation with Jamal's wife and children, the atmosphere thick with unspoken tension. It still astonished her at times, the sheer magnitude of respect she had commanded in merely a single year. The ballroom buzzed with anticipation as dinner was served at round tables, each one a stage for the unfolding drama of the evening. Marissa, Ben, and the children found themselves seated with Layla and her husband, surrounded by colleagues who had transformed into friends, the air thick with unspoken tension and unyielding anticipation. Ben captivated the table, weaving tales of his science club's latest endeavor, a miniature solar-powered car that promised to defy the odds. As the meal reached its midpoint, Tanya suddenly emerged at their table. "Marissa, Mr. Musk has requested your presence, along with your family, at the main table for dessert," she announced, her voice trembling with the weight of the moment. "He stands at the precipice, ready to unveil a momentous announcement that will change everything." Eyes filled with intrigue and suspicion tracked Lily as she and the children approached the front of the room, each step heavy with unspoken tension. With a tense silence hanging in the air, Ben offered her a subtle yet powerful nod as she stepped away, the weight of the moment palpable. Elon rose to meet them, tension crackling in the air as he pulled out chairs for Mia and Ben, the weight of the moment hanging heavily around them. "I'm glad you could join us," he declared, his voice heavy with anticipation. "The anticipation for this evening has been building within me for what feels like an eternity." Once dessert was served, a rich chocolate cake awaited the adults, while the children were treated to indulgent ice cream sundaes. Elon struck his glass with a spoon, the sharp sound slicing through the air. The room fell into a heavy silence, every eye fixated on the main table, anticipation hanging thick in the air. "Thank you all for gathering here tonight," Elon began, his voice steady yet charged with anticipation. "Tesla has faced an extraordinary year, driven by the remarkable individuals gathered here today." He uttered a few words about the company's remarkable achievements and the ambitious goals looming on the horizon for the coming year. Then his tone shifted, deepening with an intensity that pierced the air. "I have a story to tell you," he declared, his voice heavy with anticipation. "It revolves around the profound impact of kindness, the unexpected twists of coincidence, and the startling realization that seemingly insignificant actions can alter lives in unimaginable ways." Marissa's heart raced, a storm of anxiety brewing within her. Would he reveal the truth about her mother to everyone? What lies beneath their connection? "A year ago," Elon recounted, "I found myself at a McDonald's, the clock ticking late into the night. After nearly 20 hours of relentless work, fatigue clawed at my bones and hunger gnawed at my insides. As I approached the window, a chilling realization struck me. I had forgotten my wallet." The room hung in a heavy silence, each person straining to catch every whispered breath. The woman at the drive-through window performed an astonishing act. In a swift, decisive motion, she took it upon herself to cover the cost of my meal. She even added an apple pie, declaring that I seemed in need of something sweet. Murmurs surged through the crowd, a wave of anticipation and unease. Many had witnessed the viral video, but only a select few realized that the woman was now one of them, standing in their midst. "That woman," Elon declared, his gaze piercing through the air to lock onto Marissa, "is sitting right here." Lily May, our Director of Customer Experience, extended a moment of kindness to a stranger, completely unaware of my presence or the weight of her actions, with no expectation of reward. Marissa's heart raced, her cheeks burning as the weight of countless gazes bore down upon her. Mia clenched her hand tightly beneath the table, a surge of anxiety coursing through her. "But this is where it gets truly captivating," Elon pressed on. "As I caught sight of Marissa's name tag that night, an unsettling wave of recognition washed over me, stirring emotions I couldn't quite grasp. It haunted me for days afterward." He halted, his gaze sweeping the room with a heavy weight of uncertainty. 2 decades ago, as I embarked on my journey in California, I found myself in a constant struggle, teetering on the edge of financial despair. On certain nights, I found myself teetering on the edge of hunger, barely scraping together enough to eat. In the heart of Palo Alto stood a McDonald's, a place I frequented when the prices dipped to their lowest, a sanctuary amidst the chaos of rising costs. Elon's voice trembled, heavy with unspoken feelings. One fateful night, I found myself counting coins at the counter, only to discover I was dreadfully short. The woman working there, her name tag reading May, caught sight of my struggle. In a moment that felt charged with unspoken tension, she discreetly offered me free food. Not merely that night, but countless times in the weeks that followed, until my circumstances finally took a turn for the better. Marissa's eyes brimmed with unshed tears, a storm of emotion threatening to break free. After all these years, the recognition of her mother's kindness struck her with an intensity she never anticipated, leaving her profoundly moved. That woman was Elena May, the mother of Marissa. Elon fixed his gaze on Lily once more, the air thick with unspoken tension. As the realization struck me, an unsettling certainty gripped my heart. It was no mere coincidence. In a twist of fate, the universe had bestowed upon me a rare opportunity to repay a kindness that had been my lifeline. In my darkest days, the air was thick with gasps and whispers that echoed ominously through the room. It felt as though it had been ripped straight from the silver screen, an illusion of perfection that seemed impossible to exist in reality. Yet it was indeed. Elon addressed the crowd, his voice heavy with emotion as he revealed the heartbreaking truth. Elena May had passed away 5 years ago. She remained oblivious to the profound impact her seemingly insignificant acts of kindness had on the very foundations of Tesla, SpaceX, and all that I have created. Yet, her daughter fiercely upholds the legacy of compassion and integrity, a torch passed down in the shadows of uncertainty. He lifted his glass to Elena May, honoring the silent heroes who extend their kindness in the shadows, unseen and uncelebrated. Let us pay tribute to them by extending the same kindness to others. Everyone stood, glasses trembling in their hands, as they prepared for the toast. Lily brushed away her tears, the weight of the moment heavy in the air, as Mia and Ben gazed up at her, their expressions filled with a mix of wonder and disbelief. "Is that really true, Mama?" Ben's voice barely escaped his lips, a secret trembling in the air. "Did Grandma truly assist Mr. Musk?" "Yes, mijo," Lily replied, her voice barely above a whisper, laden with unspoken tension. That was her essence, relentlessly reaching out to others, even in our own times of scarcity. After the toast, Elon pivoted sharply to face Marissa, his voice cutting through the air as the microphone amplified every word for all to hear. "Marissa, your mother's kindness was a beacon of hope in my darkest hour. Your kindness struck a chord deep within me, awakening the realization of what is truly at stake in this world. It's not merely the technology we construct or the profits we accumulate. It's the way we engage with one another throughout this journey that truly matters." With a trembling hand, he plunged into his pocket and pulled out a small velvet box, the weight of the moment hanging heavily in the air. "This was your mother's. In the depths of the archived records, we unearthed it, hidden away since that fateful day when the McDonald's location shuttered its doors a decade ago." Lily pried open the box, her fingers quaking with anticipation. Inside lay a simple silver pendant, a small heart that had clung to her mother's neck through the years, a silent witness to countless moments of love and loss. She had lost it just before her untimely demise, leaving her utterly shattered. "What led you to discover this?" she whispered, her voice barely breaking the silence, laden with unspoken fears and secrets that hung in the air like a storm waiting to unleash its fury. Elon revealed that it lay hidden in a box of unclaimed employee belongings, left behind when the restaurant underwent a dramatic change in ownership. The envelope bore your mother's name, a haunting reminder of what was once familiar. "I believed it was meant for you." Lily gripped the pendant tightly, a surge of emotion coursing through her as if her mother was there, watching, her presence looming over the unfolding scene. As the evening drew to a close, guests gathered, their anticipation palpable, eager to hear more of the unfolding tale. Leah stood before everyone, her voice trembling with emotion as she recounted the tale of the grandmother she had never known, yet whose profound kindness had irrevocably altered their lives. Ben passionately recounted to anyone who would lend an ear the pivotal role his grandmother played in shaping the future, revealing how she had nourished Mr. Musk during his darkest days of poverty, a gesture that would echo through time and contribute to the birth of Tesla. As Ben navigated the darkened streets, tension hung thick in the air. Lily remained silent in the passenger seat, her mind racing, grappling with the weight of everything that had just unfolded. "Are you all right?" Ben's voice trembled as he reached for her hand, the air thick with unspoken tension. "Better than okay," she responded, her voice laced with an intensity that hung in the air. "I never could have foreseen that my mother's kindness would return to us in such a profound manner, that anyone would hold on to something so seemingly insignificant after 2 decades. Small acts aren't really small," Ben declared, his voice heavy with conviction. "They are ripples that surge forth, reaching lives we can only imagine, their impact echoing in the shadows." At home, after tucking the children into bed, Lily stood on her balcony, the weight of her mother's pendant hanging heavily around her neck. The night sky stretched above, a vast expanse, each star a distant beacon of light, twinkling with secrets untold. "Thank you, Mama," she whispered, "for everything you taught me, for the person you were. Your lessons echo in the shadows of my heart, a haunting reminder of your strength and love." A shooting star tore through the night sky, a brilliant flash of light that was both stunning and fleeting, mirroring the essence of life itself, echoing the significance of seemingly small acts of kindness that hold the power to alter destinies. Lizzie smiled, a flicker of hope igniting within her, aware that somewhere, somehow her mother was smiling too, a connection that transcended the shadows of uncertainty. The circle was finally complete. If this poignant tale of kindness resonated with you, share your location in the comments below. We want to hear from you. In what moment did a seemingly small act of kindness alter the course of your life in a profound way? Unleash the tale that lies within you. Remember to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring stories that reveal how kindness can transform lives in the most unexpected ways. United, we have the power to unleash a wave of kindness upon this world, each small act a crucial step in a dramatic journey.